Alright, y'all, welcome back to another edition of the Cozy Podcast, you feel me? We got a special edition during Aggie Fest, you feel me? Got my whole Cozy team right here. I'm gonna let them, introduce themselves, one by one down the line.
Me first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Isis.
I'm Ken.
It's good, it's your boy Noob.
It's Zaya, man.
It's Brea from State Farm on IG.
Word. Today we got a special secret guest, you feel me? Since we down here for Aggie Fest, for college days, you feel me? It's only right that, we have a sit down, with some of the ambassadors on hand. So I'd like for them to introduce themselves, you feel me?
What's good?
That's it?
Welcome to college days. I go by Saint. It's on occasion, but that's it. I have my partner with me. He also goes by Beloved. What's up, y'all? What up, y'all?
What's good?
What up?
It's good, beloved.
Word. So tell us about, college days and, the whole purpose and meaning behind it.
Shit. Really the whole purpose of college days is to make NT ghetto again. Having a pandemic and everybody's trying to make shells. Everybody feels like there's nothing going on campus. All the parties were the same. Well, honestly, we even started doing parties first thing we really did was just shirts. That was our whole purpose. But the point of it really was just kind of create a fun space and show what we would like or what we expected the college experience to be, which is raunchy.
Words.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but an experience, you know what I'm saying? Something that you can't hold down to, you know what I'm saying? College is all an experience. Everybody just experiences it. And then we went through so many different changes in such a short amount of time. But yeah.
Word. So tell us about how it's been, this whole Aggie Fest and everything and how things have been going for y'all.
Shit, Aggie Fest has been frustrating. It's mad stressful. It's fun though. We glad everybody gets to have a good time. But the amount of preparation and things that go into it, last minute decisions, cancellations, changes. We had 2 venues cancel on us. The Toga party, the BAPS with Bennett College, that's supposed to be a thing on Sunday. Our event on Sunday got shut down as well, the parking lot pimping joint. Everybody had a great time. We only had an hour left, but people was just, the police was really on dicks.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time for real, for everybody else. But when we do these events, it really just be work.
Word. So I was about to say, what was your highlight of the week, you feel me, personally?
Honestly, he said what was our highlight of the week?
I feel like me personally, Text Ash was one of them, but also Recess, because Recess wasn't even supposed to be as big as it was, but it ended up being pretty big. To be honest, we had a lot of people show out, and then Text Ash because how we just moved around in the U-Haul, and then we finally ended up, and then that was our only one that lasted as long as it did, past the actual time frame that we usually have it, because a lot of times college days events get shut down by the police. So Texas was only, even though it was 3 location changes, that one actually lasted to about 8 and over, which was pretty dope.
I think my favorite was Texas, for sure. I really love the concept. I've been telling people for a long time, I really want to do Texas. Texas is such a vibe. I think 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, really where it all started. Just got into really DJ screw and shit. Parking lot pimping was cool. I fuck with it. But I was really looking forward to Texas. The lookbooks too. For all of our events, we had a Pinterest board, and then the Pinterest board were different looks for each event. And then to watch people actually follow those lookbooks and get in style. That's probably the best part, for real, for real. Only issue we have is just that college days reach such a large crowd because of our marketing that everybody shows up, and that's really where when we end up getting shut down. Because there are a lot of events that were also going on, but they didn't get shut down because they didn't have the numbers that we did. And because we had like the numbers so quickly, that's really what the chaos. It wasn't chaos. That's just where.
Downfall happened.
Yeah. And I think the one that got shut down yesterday, the Texas ass party, was more so I think because it got so big where a few people ended up stepping on another person's property, and I guess they probably had like. It was like it wasn't
That'd
going
be the
for
thing
that.
when it be like, it be all the people, you know what I'm saying? People try to park, they park in the wrong spots.
Exactly.
You know, they kind of get ignorant.
And it just take that one person, and then you got some folks who just don't be going for that type of shit and be like, nah, get off my property. So it just mess up the fun.
They didn't do that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, what you want to do?
Exactly.
Did y'all see that preacher that
Came out
I see it on Instagram.
So, because Texas was yesterday, which was Good Friday, everybody parked everywhere, but they filled up this man's parking lot. So, he out here trying to have a Good Friday church service. Exactly. And he couldn't. This man came through in a full robe, full priest attire, like he was ready. And that's really why we ended up getting shut down at the second location.
Wow. Oh yeah.
At the second location.
Oh, at the park. What park?
So, what about shit? How you feel about the DJ?
For the last function,
Shit.
Oh, I got some words for you.
Oh,
wasn't
like for the
DJ,
most
right?
part.
DJ on Sunday, the parking lot was great. We voted with him, but we got Primo. But we got shut down before he can get into it. Like, when we do plans, we meticulously plan them out. Like, it's, for every function we do, we have a playlist. Like, we curate what we want to hear because it's based on people. A big thing about it, we don't like doing the same. Use the same audio. We even have our own like DJ contract where you have to play certain songs or you have to play certain audios. Like at ANC, I think it was the pajama party. You remember that video was like spit in her butt, spit in her butt. One hand on neck, other hand on like we was the first people to do that and put it out there. And then that, you know, everybody started doing that trend. But
That's what
Hey, yo.
but we do certain shit like that all the time. Like we reference audio from different movies.
Put them in there.
Y'all definitely included the TikTok trend. That had a lot of people rocking their hips. We ain't gonna call it the shake that shit. It's called rocking your hips. Like we ain't about to go for that and say that it's called rocking your hips. But that was definitely a vibe. That's all. But that's what's up. I respect it.
Another thing about this that I love, like outside of it being a Spirit Week is actually a campaign that we planned for Instagram. So we reached out to the people who did the Yard Runners campaign at Nike, but he doesn't work there anymore. He works at Instagram. So when we presented this idea of like, all right, we'll do a Spirit Week at different HBCUs or different chapters at different schools. Each school all participates. And we like, if you look at the page, like our tag section, you'll see DSU, Morehouse, Clark, Howard, Hampton. Even the small ones, like we put the HBCUs against each other for the compete in the Spirit Week. And then it basically used the hashtag show engagement. But because we reached out so late, we couldn't do this like the full scale. But it gives us content for next year, and you know, they get Instagrams back. But basically, like everybody who submitted something, those are considered as nominations, and those nominations go to HBCU Drip, Scholarship, and from there we choose like the best people from each school. But next year for sure, it's gonna be like a whole.
Oh, alright. So the different HBCUs had different days than NCAT.
Yeah. Well, each HBCU had the same day, so we were all basically the campaign is that everybody versus A&T. You know, the further they put A&T on the map and shit on everybody. So we all had the same days, and it was just like who was gonna do the best. And now you can use the hashtag HBCU Daze, DAZE, to check just to check like who was competing in different schools.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, because I follow an Instagram page. I've been following it like before I ever. This is my first time coming down to A&T, but I follow this, I think it's HBCU drip on Instagram, whatever, and it was posting the A&T one of the days when everybody was dressed in monochromatic, and I was like, oh shit, they really popped out, because I didn't even know y'all had like a spirit thing going on. But I see all the ladies, they was dressing up in their monochromatic. I was like, oh snap, that's
so
fire.
Morehouse had Texas Ass too.
Well, so the goal was to have the same parties at each school too, so we would compete multiple categories. We would compete in best dress, best content creation, best videos, best commercials. Like people were supposed to like create their own campaigns. We'll be creating ours and for the next year. We just didn't have time to do it this year. And then we'll also be competing with the best parties. So like we reached out to promote different schools, but because everything was just short notice, everyone was just like, all right, we can't really make it work. But next year for sure.
Oh, alright. But like seeing the videos and all that, what school you think shit was jumping the most?
You said what?
Like what school had like the best content?
Outside of A&T?
Like out of all the schools that were competing so far, which one do you think?
Well, A&T, of course, but outside of A&T, I think I seen a lot of BSU stuff, for the most part. But like, that's why I say I seen some BCU, but the key is HBCU. I seen a lot of BSU and some Winston.
Personally, I feel like A&T had numbers, but there's this one school, BCU, they was going crazy.
Yeah.
What's that Virginia State?
Virginia Commonwealth University. So I remember that TikTok went viral. It was like Euphoria Day. So they're basically a modeling shoot at VCU, and they made this content, whatever, and they just do like their own campaigns. Like they're their own full blown out modeling team. They stars. A&T did a great job. I feel like everybody who participated.
Yeah.
The VCU was doing damage, but this is the HBCU Spirit Week, so it is what it is.
That's what's up.
But we definitely love like people outside HBCU just see this opportunity to get content out, because the main point of this campaign is so people become viral, like so people can have opportunity to get picked up by like somebody. That's why we put it on HBCU drip. Drip. That's why we're trying to work with this with Instagram, so they can blast it out there and hope someone gets some type of contract. We don't make no bread off this. This is just for the love of creating content.
So what really inspired y'all to come up with that? Like just doing it
Selflessly.
What?
The Spirit Week. What inspired us to do the Spirit Week?
We started off like earlier in the year, like kind of like coming up with like, cause we always do like before the semester starts, like what we're gonna do. So originally it was supposed to be like a week or something, cause Aggie Fest, and we was like going like go ham. But it started with another idea, like kind of like Freaknik-esque, and do like trial and tribulations. The idea didn't come to fruition, but we had kind of like ended up coming up with like this idea of the Spirit Week, and how like we can like brand ourselves and market ourselves out. That's how I remember it.
Spirit Week was just
Y'all doing any other events anytime soon? Within the near future? Or y'all wait until G-Ho?
Honestly, we just Spirit Week was just such a course. Well, really, Spirit Week is the component. The actual week is called Spring Fling. Spirit Week is a component of Spring Fling. But honestly, we just been planning for Spring Fling. We didn't really plan the rest of the year. Like this was our hurrah. If we do anything, we'll discuss it on our own terms. But Spirit Week just originated with just without we do themed events. Why not do something during Aggie Fest that show school spirit? Again, just to get people like out there for real.
Oh, I bet. So like, are y'all still gonna be working with each other during like when y'all all done with college or not?
We really haven't discussed what we're gonna do after college.
Yeah.
But we just kind of live in the moment for now. I know there are like different pages out there, different people who have their own like different version of creativity, or they're creative in their different spaces. Some people we work with a lot of different creatives, but anonymously. So there are people that we fuck with. It's an opportunity for it to be passed down, but honestly, like, this is a lot of work, especially do it for free. So, you can't really trust it in everybody's hands.
definitely the legacy is going to live on though, for sure, because not everybody, not too many people, if anybody, has done this before, especially at A&T. So even if, you know what I'm saying, wherever way it goes, legacy of college days is going to live on, regardless, people of this era and people after, just going to know what we did and how we changed the campus.
Well, we influenced the campus in so many ways. Like people started doing, they're like promoting something here longer than us. And they copying they be copying like the comics, the cartoons, trying to do like themed events. They would just throw a name on the function and send people out there.
Yeah, booty call.
Yeah.
Like the notes app.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like they got a full blown like cartoon with it, and it's crazy because nobody was doing that before until we came on the scene.
They loving the style.
Can I ask why did y'all say to be anonymous?
We chose to be anonymous. Well, I don't remember one reason being anonymous is what we do. It's just we don't want to face the repercussions for it because we invite so many people out and we do what we do. Another aspect of it is just people. I hate to say it, but when people know who you are, they don't fuck with you the same. Because they attribute everything that you do, good or bad, to like who you are, and why should I fuck with this person, X, Y, and Z. So that's one reason we chose to be anonymous. And it's fun, like it's part of the marketing for real. Like it gives something to talk about.
Right.
Everybody trying to put this two and two together.
Yeah, word.
And also, I was gonna say also like it's just like I said earlier, it's like really the experience of it for real. Like artists, like graffiti artists make something, you just seen it first glance, you know what I'm saying? You don't really attach the person to it. A lot of people attach the person to it, and we don't really want that. We want the experience for people to have fun, you know what I'm saying? Just the raw experience of college days.
Yeah, it's understandable.
So, how do you feel about trying to control the crowd and making sure that you're, even though it's anonymous and everything, making sure the reputation of the brand stays solid?
A lot of that is just with a lot of that honestly is just with like people on their own, like fucking with the brand. People respect, in different crowds you have. So we do a lot of physical tickets because you have to choose to come find us, come meet us, and say you want to come to our function. Those are the people that you want. Not the people who just heard about the event and they want to slide.
Exactly.
I'd rather have, like Jamal said earlier, I'd rather have 500 people who are going to come in and have fun, do their thing, than 1,000 people who's going to just, I heard about it, I'm just, I'm sliding so I want to have a good time.
Exactly. It's easy to say you're going to pop up somewhere and then you don't come and then, it makes you think you're going to have a certain amount of capacity, but then, you make it less, you make it more. So physical tickets is a good way to control the traffic.
Would y'all be willing to like travel, move around, and all that?
So the goal, that's one of the reasons we also did the Spirit Week too. So we basically established at every school there's a drip page. So we reached out to multiple drip page at every HBCU. And they were the ones helping pushing our content, pushing creators, pushing their people so they can be involved in this as well, one to grow their page and to grow ours. But it's just structured, like once we get this down, we definitely would look into it. Like we do plan to expand. I believe we have like a Winston shirt coming soon. We're trying to get to Winston. Winston's a really good crowd for us too because they got this shit down packed. And Winston's just like a raunchy ass school. Like they just be doing like their turn.
Yeah, they don't mind being ghetto.
They don't mind being ghetto. That's our whole thing. It's just
Good to know.
So, how do you feel about, because people often come to the functions but don't really bring like their personality or don't really be comfortable in the function. So with y'all doing themes, like how do you feel like that plays a part in people getting more comfortable with themselves and also comfortable around other people in social settings?
I'll say it's like, you can't be, because we do themes, trying to get that one guy who doesn't participate in the theme that you just look lame. He's a Mr. Cool guy who was too cool to be in the theme. But because everybody's in the same costume, everybody feels more comfortable to do whatever they would do, like be a part of the function. Because like we're all dressed like fucking Playboy bunnies. We're all dressed like pajamas or like angels and demons. Like it makes people comfortable because it's like you can't ridicule me because you're here too.
Yeah.
Exactly. It makes sense though. That's like usually like the argument with like how uniform versus like public schools where you don't have to wear with uniforms, everybody wearing the same shit. So it's like you can't make fun of me. I got the same color skirt you got on, so it's like you feel me? But I definitely think that themes definitely help bring out people's personalities. You know, some people are shy, some people stand around, some people don't know what to wear, but it definitely helps guide people. Like, oh, like now I know specifically what I can go by.
So people put thought into that. Like yesterday, I was so amazed. People
Yeah.
put thought into like actually dressing like cowgirls and
That's
cowboys.
so cute.
You had the print on, the cow print on.
That shit look good. Like
Everyone did.
I was surprised when people had cowgirl boots.
Yeah.
For real, but I was
And they were strutting them shits
They
too.
was.
And walking. So yeah.
It was giving Texas.
Texas ass.
So as far as like the themes go, like how did y'all come up with the themes, and like what were some other themes that maybe didn't make it to the final cut?
The things we just be like, be cool and we should do this. Like I remember the first function was a pajama party, and that was just that one kind of happened because of like some inside stuff, and it related to like just nighttime, like the promo videos from it where from Slick Rick's music video, Story Time, I think it's Story Time. It was like where everybody's in the bed, and we reference the commercial. We reference the movie School Days. Only because of the name College Days.
Yeah.
College Days also means like days. You can also think of it as a dream. And so like this is called like College Days is the college of dreams. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of themes that didn't come to fruition, So Good didn't happen. Yeah, Bats didn't happen. We have a whole list of like.
Yeah, we do like a lot of like trial and error, cause you know what I'm saying. It just comes with like working with the team, cause everybody got an idea, you know, or like we have like a lot of like creative people, so a lot of people have ideas. So we'll like, you know, do trial and error. We'll work with this, we'll work with that. What people want to see, what people not want to see. So yeah, we got like a whole bunch of stuff that didn't really make the cut. We felt like this. Like the ones we had this week really fit best and how it could work out. So then the ones that didn't make the cut, we probably going to use it next year or like another time.
I want to do like a public safety party where everybody comes in as like different forms of public safety. So you got the nurses, firefighters.
Oh snap.
Yeah, all you feel me? Like army, get people, whatever.
That shit sound fun.
It seems like y'all take a lot of time out to think about what y'all want to do. Y'all don't half-ass it. The numbers, like the amount of crowds y'all bring in shows that it's not half-ass. You can tell about like even the flyer that was going around, like with the itinerary, you could tell it wasn't half-ass. Like it wasn't just no copy paste. This is what we doing. Like it was actually the graphics and all of that. You could definitely tell that. It was a lot of process and thought put into it.
Yeah, everything's a team effort for real. Like, if I don't fuck with something, I'll tell my partner. When my partner's fuck with something, like he'll tell me. But like, you know, the thing about art, everybody feels like their art is correct. Like that's just the thing with artists in general. So, you know, sometimes you have that back and forth, but everything's for the good of the brand. And that's just the name of the game for real. Like you can't tell a photographer that this photo suck because if she says it's good, it's good to him.
Exactly. Really just compromising this with art, like being that art is so like fluid, you can definitely find ways to meet another artist halfway. You can incorporate, you know, your style, you can incorporate that other person's style and come together and it just be like one big picture.
I fuck with the fact that art is just art. Like art is just art. Whatever it is art. College Days itself, the brand as a whole is art.
So talk about the art aspect of it and how that plays a big role into how you guys market and brand you guys. So
I feel like alright. So I feel like with the art aspect of it, it's just the fact that when you draw in a pen, you take a lot of time to like get the curves, you're real meticulous with it. That's the same thing we do with college days. Like we sit down, we plan it out. And honestly, this whole year was planned out. College started May 22nd of 2020. Wait, no, 2021.
Yes.
And we planned out the whole year. Like, everything was done in those 2 months that we got during the summer. But that's why I feel like it's art, because like we sat there and really paid attention to the details of it, and we expressed what we felt or how we liked it and what we wanted from it.
Yeah, it's like the art style also like the art style of College Daze is just specific to it, and it really has like a different lens. There's a lot of other like brands and stuff like they don't really branch out as much as we do. Either they just do T-shirts or they just do parties, or you know we kind of do like a little bit of everything. And our style is sort of like influential because obviously we have like other like artists wanting to jack our stuff. So it's like that really has like an aspect to it, because then people really look at like cartoons and how crude they are, and like how just raunchy and like how you know how funny they could be. Like you know they tie that to like College Daze and like you know what I'm saying, like the brand and total. You know what I'm saying? So like I think the art style is like mad important, because there's another angle to like there's another angle compared to other brands. You know what I'm saying? The creativity of it. So a lot of people like that about it.
You mentioned a good point earlier. Like anything can be art, and that's what like we call it. Is we do whatever we want. We're not confined to a space of just like shirts or just parties. Like once the parties aspect came on after, our whole thing was shirts. And then we got to like marketing, doing campaigns, doing photo shoots for our parties. We're creating lookbooks, creating digital lookbooks for the party. So like the Texas shoot, we shot that probably the first month of school, and that was all for this. Like we've been planning like a lot. Like even the way we plan was different. Like every time we talk, I don't feel like there's anything as like such a bad idea. So everything we did, we wrote down like just from the jump.
So it wasn't hard for y'all to get y'all name out, right?
I feel like we had such a great start with it, like our shirt and the way we marketed. Like the Pink Lemonade stand was the first. Like I personally like guerrilla marketing, which is where you have like physical objects. So we took those little pallets, we took them apart, sawed them down, sandusted them, created a lemonade stand. So the first day of school, or first week of school, we sold shirts. We had a lemonade stand and we sold like 100 shirts. So, and they sold out like the ass and titty shirt. We only have 100 made of the white, like the OG white ones, 100 made. So if you got one of them, like you set.
Oh, y'all don't got no more shirts. Y'all done with shirts and all that.
And
right?
that was when y'all first started.
Yeah.
So y'all blessed to have the traffic that y'all had. Because it don't work like that for everybody. Some people got to get out the mud. Some people would just, you know, but either way it go, you know, it's always going to be a big outcome. It's always going to be a big picture. So that's what's up.
Yeah, I feel like personally, like the shirt itself, like people was messing with it. It's like one of like like in terms of like our like people with AT now, it's like one of the best like AT shirts like they seen. So like it hit the streets like hard. So everybody just been honestly even for them like people that still come to the page, come to us now, like I still got the white shirts, but like we're out. You know what I'm saying? Like the shirt kind of like the present kind of set things off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what brought a lot of people to the page. Because a lot of people wanted shirts and they just couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was only 100 that was sold the first time.
The commercials help too. Like we put a big emphasis on our marketing. Like with commercials, shoots, the comics, the flyers, everything is the campaigns. Like we did the Ask for Love campaign where people could basically, it's like a confessions page that we made like within 24 hours, and that gave us traction. That was its own wild thing. Where we did like a scavenger hunt. I can't remember all the other things we did. We've done so much in such a short amount of time.
Wait, what's the confessions page? Is that like when
So
people just tell their darkest secret, like anonymous?
it was They died
Yeah,
secret.
I seen that shit.
I'm gonna say, I'm like, hold up, like, if we talking, but do a lot of people do that one? Because I seen it on Instagram, so I'm like, hold up,
It was
maybe I followed
anonymous.
one of y'all shits before.
Yeah, nah,
That's
it was
crazy.
a lot of wild shit they were saying.
Word. I'd be a lot of like
Nah,
fucking
that's
like
crazy.
sex stories and shit. Like, oh, I cheated on my man. Da da da. I'd be like, oh, they wild.
That was y'all for
Yeah, it was going crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I probably followed the thing the whole time and didn't know.
I ain't know that.
So that's why I'm like, wait, is there a lot of people do that, or was it like one specific thing? And it was y'all. I'm like, hold up, I probably followed that shit. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I read a lot of crazy teens.
Well, even though like and we got crazier ones, honestly, but even though like we're a raunchy brand, we still believe in the biggest thing about college days is we want you to have we want this to be a safe space. Like even with the pool party, that's probably one of our first and biggest campaigns where we went to the pool party. Everybody was acting ass, showing their ass, and we was taking photos. But we put masks on everybody. So like if you know who it is, if you know your body, you know that we would personally send you the photo without the mask on you. But if it was public, we would have the mask on you, so to protect your identity. And we do that even with our Aggie Archives, where Aggie Archives is a project we're working on with the Blue Fort Library, where students can send in like film, they can send in like photos, videos, whatever, through our Google link, or Google Drive link, and then we'll compile all the information. They put like the date, time, the name, and then we just have this folder that we can just give to the library. They can easily just kind of document it. So the goal really is to kind of show like college life through COVID.
Oh.
Like
And
you
it
can
just
see it.
sit there in the library just like over years, and like new students could just come and be like, oh.
That's
That's
wild.
valid.
Yeah, that's hard as
And you
hell.
know how modern that shit gonna look, and then a few years later, like you never know like how photography and like just the
I think that shit
pixelation
not
of like
bring it back.
photos will change. So to them, you never know. A few years later, to them, our shit, even though it's modern to us from like before, they can be like, that shit look old as hell. So that's real crazy. Just like, you know, like that's real tough.
50 years, that shit probably gonna look crazy.
They can be like, yo, this shit look old as hell. Look at how our shit look now. And then here we is looking at photos and like, yo, look at this iPhone. This shit clear as fuck.
Yeah.
That's tough. I fuck with that.
So what Aggie Fest you feel like was the best? So for how many you went to?
What? I'm sorry, one more time? I mean, Aggie Fest I've been to? Yeah. Maybe like 4, 3, I don't really remember. No, I wasn't even like, I don't like parties personally. I don't really like going out for real. I like creating the experience. I like just making people, like letting people have fun. Like, if I'm in the function, I'm really not doing too much. I'd rather be at the crib. But I personally like what we got going on. Like, I see this as like, like one of my babies.
So you feel like this year was the best one you attended or been a part of, regardless?
I say yeah because like my shit or our shit. Oh, my fault. I don't really doing nothing on my own. Like, our team is so huge, but it's huge, but it's small at the same time. But I feel like this is like the best Aggie Fest because everybody just had time outside of COVID, especially because of COVID. Like we made it work. People just had a blast. We got so much like content, and so many people just showed out for real.
Yeah, I feel like this year is better than last year's.
Yeah, most definitely. Ain't nobody got shot.
I don't think it's better than last year, personally. I'll be honest with y'all. Like, I think last year was better because motherfuckers just got out of COVID and the price was just different. But I think our events was like better than a lot of other people's events because we like have different things and theme. But in terms of like this year, I didn't think it was like the best Aggie Fest. And I went to like other people's like different journeys and stuff like ours, and I just wasn't impressed compared to last year.
Well, let me think. Does anybody have an iPad charger?
It don't take iPhone like actually.
Wait, is it like which iPad is it? Is it a newer?
Yeah, the Pro.
Would it take a MacBook?
Like take a MacBook charger?
Yeah.
Oh, it's upstairs.
What's the name?
I was about to
Last year I think there was only one function at Bryant Park. But this year altogether there were like 3 or 4 at Bryant Park. Now, I feel like the functions this year at Bryant Park were better than last year. Like the one last year was jumping, but this year was OD too.
Last year I wasn't here. I was out of the country enjoying myself doing something else. So I didn't get to like see the Bryant Park last year.
But you was still like behind the process of last year's. Y'all didn't do last year.
Yeah.
It wasn't around last year.
It was a whole different set of people doing it.
Year. So
That's why I said last year was great. I mean, like, not doing college days. I feel like last year was just like a great time. Like, Aggie Fest was a great time. I had a ball personally.
But you really didn't have to work last year.
Yeah, man, all the dogs was just fun. Everybody was just happy to come back outside. Like, it was just a great time.
So what do y'all?
It was different.
Oh, it was different because we knew everybody too. Like I was always young folks, and they enjoying themselves, but I'm just chilling.
What do y'all feel like A&T needs to like get back to its culture? Like, what do y'all feel like the people need to do?
Like as a school.
Not being bougie.
Yeah, people should stop being bougie, but that comes with time. That's like, well, we push what we push. But a lot of it's also administration. Like I know last year, the current like SGA court was like, we want to be, or I think it was SGA, I forgot who it was. They had such a big issue with how people saw them because we wanted to, like, everybody wanted them to be, real crisp and clean. At the end of the day, students too, they want to have fun. And so it was like, nobody gave them opportunity to kind of express that duality of turning up.
And then being,
Yeah. And I feel like that's something they should understand because being that this is a HBCU and this majority of the students African American, it's a culture behind it, and it's a way that we, party as opposed to, some other people. So it's like, I feel as though they should take that in consideration.
But the way A&T work, I feel like people work in general. When you see other people having fun, you start to have fun. Like, you gotta find somebody who's gonna do something real wild so you can gauge, all right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
like,
that's
That
shit.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about. Like
yesterday,
everybody is waiting on somebody to do something instead of just doing it.
And Cozy Crew gonna be the one to get it started. So
I didn't know that this was the biggest HBCU though.
yeah.
So that's why
Wait, this is
people
the
bougie.
biggest, the largest.
Yeah, that's why they act like that.
But like old A&T wasn't bougie.
Yeah.
Because you notice at the part, I noticed, I'm pretty sure the rest of them notice. I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, this social hour, like, why everybody standing around, like, talking? I'm like, nah, I want to see y'all turn up. Like, what y'all doing?
The world changed in general, so like
Maybe
everybody
people been
else
inside
changed.
too much.
People have been inside too much. But the young folks are turning it up. Like,
Yeah, they are. I see
The
it.
2000 baby's different though.
Yeah.
They're a different breed.
Nah, just in general.
That's Gen Z, right? Or Gen
Now we all the same thing.
we Gen Z too?
Yeah.
everybody.
Damn, I feel like I don't know.
Like a green. We were in 99.
But since everybody, that's why I was asking about the themes and making people comfortable in their own skin because everybody know that it's like a bougie, stuck up environment around A&T. But like, do you feel like, with consistency, you guys could kind of break that mold through college days?
I feel like we have already, honestly. Like, it's just carrying the trend. Like, we all took a pajama party. That shit was disgusting. Like, it was disgusting.
It was hot,
Sweaty.
Yeah. When was this?
Did we go to
When was this?
It was on Monday. It was a Monday.
October.
Oh,
I
I was like, wait, was it?
I'm thinking of a pajama party this week.
And
Type.
y'all not doing that for G-Ho this year, or y'all gonna talk about it?
We're gonna talk about it. But Geo, like, it's still, everything's its own different beast.
How many days is G-Ho?
A week.
Oh, same thing? Oh, I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all don't do something, who else gonna do it?
No one will do it the same way we do it. People will try and invite us to do what they like. They think they can, but honestly, like, we have some secret, like some secret weapons, like things that we're just working on. And no one can market the way we market without like, it seems like they're biting us. That's probably our biggest weapon too. Is the way we market, and it's like found such an avenue. If you were to try and copy, like people have been called out for not by us. We don't like publicly go and shame somebody. Like that's not our thing. Like we can just move forward. But people will come to us and say, go to the page or make it known. Or because we're anonymous, we'll hear it in passing. And we just gotta sit there like we don't Yeah, we don't know what's going on.
But when you market yourself so good and you make your marketing so distinctive and so different that if somebody did try to come and buy it, people recognize like, nah, like it's completely different. Like it's not even coming close to what y'all got going on. So
It's not authentic. Like, fabrication.
So what, like, how do you plan on like? Well, I guess you can't really give all details, but how do you plan on kind of like switching up, you know, the way you guys present yourselves just to, you know, change up with the times and everything?
But I mean, I feel like we change every day, honestly. Like, I don't think we've had an idea outside the pajama party where it's like, this is what we're gonna do, and we follow through all the way with it. Like, there's so many things that change. Like, I can't remember. Like, this wasn't even supposed to be, honestly, this wasn't even supposed to be during Aggie Fest. Like, none of these events were supposed to be during Aggie Fest. We were gonna have our own week, our own week, because we didn't want no competition. And but we were thinking small-minded.
Yeah.
We realized how strong we were. We were like, fuck it. We want to do this shit during Aggie Fest to compete with everybody else. And we learned a lot. We grew, you know, some mistakes were made. Some great achievements was, you know, accomplished. I really like we made history at AMT.
I would, I did.
Yeah, I did.
But at the end of the day, I definitely did enjoy myself. It was fun.
That's good stuff.
I was about to say, we was here for y'all at the end of the day, so.
Because I definitely played in that field day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the only thing about the field day is nobody wanted to play games except for the people who play football. Everybody else was trying to shake their ass. Shop was in, I'm cool with that. But it would have been just so much. It would have been just such a different vibe. They had niggas playing kickball, volleyball, soccer.
because that's what I was going. I had my sneakers. I had extra pair of sneakers. I'm like, all right, I ain't finna do the flag football because I ain't finna be running around like crazy. But the kickball, you can see the kickball, and it didn't even happen. I was like, ah.
We had all the balls there. We was like, all right, if you want to play kickball, come to the field. They looked around and said, you see all this ass? You see all this ass? And they just stayed right there.
But do you think that was because the fact that it was split? Like there was a party and then there was.
I think it was a timing thing. Like if I were to do that backwards, what I would do is I would already have a game going. Like we were supposed to do that, but we get so busy at the time. Some things get neglected on accident. But we had a game already going when people got there. They would have been between different things. Like we even had the volleyball team out there. Like, so they can play volleyball against everybody else.
Because I think the party started before the actual game
That would have been lit.
started, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. The game was before then were.
But black people don't be wanting to do all that.
Like you said, they be too bougie.
That's how I see it. But that's one either party or you have fun.
But that's why
Either you party or you play sports.
Yeah, but again, that's why we were talking about. We gotta see somebody do something. No one's really taking that initiative. Like we had niggas. Rick was dressed up like a coach, you know, Chicago shorts and shit. Niggas had whistles, but football was doing their thing. But football was kind of like in the cut a little bit because of the way the field was set up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because I didn't even know they played.
Like so, some people, because when I pulled up, I didn't see like everybody, and so I went like into that little corner, like a little cul-de-sac. So like I didn't really notice they was all the way by the field because I was
going crazy in the field.
Yeah, it was the same with me. Like cause like even though like it didn't we had to wait a little bit before everybody got set up and ready. I'm at the table. I'm like, when they gonna start playing the game? I look to my left. I'm like, oh shit, niggas it's already playing. I'm like, yo, we gotta go cheer on Homicide. I'm like, hold up, stay here. I'm like, damn, like yeah, you couldn't really see it. I'm like, oh snap, I didn't even know they started yet. I'm like, that's crazy.
And one thing too, like some ideas that didn't happen. Like we were gonna have a powder puff game, and so I have like a fat ass bag of weed. Like I got a fat ass bag of like full locks, and so those were gonna be the flag and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it would have been powder puff. It would have been, you know, having like grabbing weed and shit. And that's like different shit we try and incorporate. Like,
That's creative.
But that shit's creative.
That's mad creative.
Yeah,
Grab the weed. I fuck with that. That's very creative.
So looking back at the whole week, like overall, how you feeling about you guys' progress from when you got started till now?
I think like socially, the Instagram page has gone up a lot. I think we touched 5,000, or we're close to 5,000. Yeah, 5,000. And a big part of that was shout out to the campaign and just Spring Clean as a whole. I think socially we did a great job. Party wise, we did pretty good. I would have liked to have better DJs at certain events, but at the end of the day, you have some good events, you have some bad events, but it's all about how you handle the next event. So, man, you got anything you want to say about that?
You stupid. Say it again. I didn't hear what you said. What was the question?
I was asking how you got, like, looking back at Aggie Fest, how you feel about y'all's progress from when y'all started college days until now?
I think, like Saint said, like definitely the IG going up is dope. A lot of mentions. It's like there's so many mentions right now. Like just going through them, I'm like these, and it's just endless to keep going. I think it solidified what we already knew, and what like some people who've been with us, rocking with us from the beginning already knew, that like we're not the same like everybody else. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we're here, we're solidified. You know what I'm saying? People care we mess with us. But compared to the beginning of the week, I think overall it's just shit. I guess college days. I don't know. At the end of the day, we here to build a legacy, and that legacy was just new, creative. You ain't gonna see this too many times.
What I like is regardless of like what event was shut down, people was like, that shit was crazy. Like, it was good. It was good. Yeah. I'm fucking it. It was valid.
And they did actually flocking from one function to another.
No, the student center was crazy after the field day.
How was those Camp Evo listening?
Camp Evo was stupid. Like Camp Evo was stupid packed.
Y'all had two. They didn't shut down Camp Evo functions, right?
Oh.
Yep. Nah, they didn't shut down the Camp Evo functions.
Y'all had two of them, right?
We had 3 functions. So that was like Texas was the U-Haul.
No, I'm saying like y'all had 3 functions at Camp Evo altogether.
3 functions throughout the day.
Cause we went to basically all the ones y'all had. Yesterday we went to 2 of them, I think, and then niggas saw that y'all went back to Camp Evo. But I know the other day it was another function at Camp Evo too. That's why I was asking like how many did y'all throw over there?
We only threw that one at Camp Evo, but the one that happened last night was the biggest one like that they had at Camp Evo.
I didn't know, but I seen from like all the like videos that it was like OC pack, so that was dope.
Another thing too, even with that, like Camp Evo, like, well, I don't know if this is a say Camp Evo, but our functions, I don't know, people really fuck with what we got going on. They want to hop on it. Like, I think there was, I'm not gonna mess. But people just want to hop on it and try and claim things of their own, and do what they do. But at the end of the day, we're like,
My last question is, with that being said, like, how are you guys managing that? Because what if, people try to hop on y'all wave and people think that's who's representing college days, How you guys try to navigate that?
I feel like we just gotta keep doing us, you know what I'm saying? Like, people at the end of the day, you can't, we would like for people to stop jacking us, but you can't stop somebody from wanting to jack you. I feel like, if they gonna do that's on them. That's on their character. But we just gotta stay true to ourselves and keep doing us and just keep being like one of the leading, people of the culture for real. Just keep making history, just keep, doing us, and then, build forcing the truth, and I think we're true to ourselves. So if we keep doing that, we're gonna be straight.
Yeah.
Well, this podcast coming out, so people will see that y'all staying anonymous anyway. So if somebody do come out and try to say something to y'all, they gonna be like, nah. But they said they staying anonymous, so we gonna know who they are.
Not only that, it keep people guessing.
Yeah.
Because going back to how you said, like, you rather stay anonymous, when usually, I hate to say it, but it's the truth, when people know that it's you, they won't really support you. You think you think your friend's gonna support you, and then they don't. They rather support a stranger before they support somebody that they know. So the fact that y'all are anonymous, I guarantee you seen so many people there that are innocent.
I was gonna ask you,
but if they find out,
do you like have friends that actually don't know that you're not a part of?
I feel like yes, but at the same time, we have people who like try to put two and two together. But at the end of the day, man, like, keep me doesn't can't prove who I am.
Right, I'm gonna deny it.
They asked me not so long ago. They was like, "So what is your role in college days?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm just an ambassador." You know what I'm saying? So like, they really honestly like. I feel like I would have thought they would have known, but they just don't know. So like, it could be some people that really just have no clue, and some people who like Saint said, they put two and two together. But you ain't gonna hear from us. You know what I'm saying?
And shit, we don't even live in A&T. Like, we go into, we don't live here. Like, we online students.
So that helps us out a lot too.
For real?
Facts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we online students, so we just keep it about it. We have like ambassadors on campus that really help us out. Like, honestly, people who really just like, they fuck with the brand, they see that there's changes that they want too, the same way we want them. So like, people will just help us out. Like, we have connections on campus where like we want something done, like they'll do it for us. And it's just off the strength of like the love and like the entitlement and whatever. But we got a good amount of ambassadors. We even have the Daze. I fuck with the Daze because they help us like get these tickets out. And in return, we just make sure they have them get into the function. For the Heaven or Hell party, we made sure that they had costumes. Like we bought them wings. We just trying to take care of people for real.
Shout out to the Daze.
Shout out to the Daze.
Do you guys have any
Say what?
do y'all have any advice for college students or just anybody in general who wants to start a movement, who wants to have a brand or whatever the case may be, who wants to create their own brand?
I'm writing a book.
You write a book?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But it's not gonna be like an OD book, because college students don't like to read from it. It's gonna be like mostly like, the way Virgil Abloh did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about this?
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I want to do like a free game. So like this Aggie Fest, I wrote down like points, the things that I did and didn't like. Giving people like advice. Like I know one of the biggest things I really want to touch on is like a DJ. A DJ's make or break the function. Like I said before, we make playlists for all of our DJs. We have DJ contracts, but at the end of the day, like you gotta have a good DJ that knows music. Like we had a middle school function. And we're like, here's the music for the event. And granted, he played some of it, but like, it was not to point like.
You always gonna have a lot of diverse. Oh, go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say to just the people who are just coming to college and making songs. Just honestly, just do, like I said, just be true to you. I mean, at the end of the day, the world is so big right now. I think that things like that. Wherever you do, you won't find your crowd. For the most part, there's gonna be a college days book, Virgil Abloh book coming soon. Y'all could, see how we did everything step by step. But for the most part, it's just like you can't go wrong with being yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You just gotta do it.
Be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gonna find what you wanna find. And I think that's what happens. And doing other things that you see everybody else doing.
You just gotta start, honestly. Like,
Thanks.
you just gotta start. If you don't start, it'll never happen.
That's a fact.
Like, even if you start wrong, bro, like you gonna learn from your mistakes. Like, there's some promo teams that personally I fuck with, and I'm trying to like help put them on and organize them. And we don't even do like parties for real. Like we're a t-shirt brand. We just do shit because we can. Like, you feel me? Like we just here to like have fun, and we want people to be able to do that. But some people feel like the shortcut is buying our stuff or doing it the same way we're doing it. But you gotta find your own niche.
At the end of the day, you just gotta be yourself for real.
Be authentic.
Be authentic.
Another thing like that helps us, or it helps in general, is just like collaboration. You meet so many, like you just chat with people, especially like chatting from the place of the ambassador. Like I know, for instance, there's people that have been taking photography, like photos of our events, and I'll come up to them, or typically our ambassadors come up to them, or they kind of, and it's chat with them because they'll put people on game. They're like, you can upload your photos to this like Instagram page, or you can tag colleges, the Aggie Archives, which is the Instagram is called Aggie Archives. If you want to check it out, they'll upload like the flow photos to the Blue for Library. But they'll tell them about it, and well, people like DM the page like, hey, I want to be a part of this. So a lot of it's just like you help people, people help you. Shout out to Pouch GSO, they blew up, bro. Like they game for real. Like they sell liquor pouches.
Oh, they just bought some 2 shirts from niggas yesterday.
Yeah, like they show love, bro. Really, they
haven't done up yesterday.
Yeah, but like even then, like we have, they basically come to our events and we make sure, or we try to put emphasis on like doing this and sell pouches outside the building, because one is our event and two, like they show love and they help us, get everybody tea. And then we have a guy, Smoke Infused Treats. I don't know if y'all was here when he was here. Y'all should be. Smoke Infused Treats been here for a little minute, but we have like a pre-roll line too. Like it's like called Daze pre-rolls. We didn't get to like really roll them out for real. This every place that we wanted to. That's another thing that like just didn't happen. Like, we had everything we needed, but it's just things happen. But 420 is coming up, so we'll probably do something like that. I'm gonna do a picnic pretty soon. We're just blowing down for real, just having a blast.
You guys have any final questions that you want to ask?
Nah, I got everything out that I needed to ask him.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm intrigued.
I just hope y'all do something again for real.
Like being still in college and seeing the transition, like I'm very intrigued and excited to see like what happens next. Like,
I'm trying to think of a little fun fact about college. We got Aspen Titty State University trademark. Yeah. So like, the shirt will forever be ours. Like the name will forever be ours. Like, it's just thinking business minded. That's the biggest thing. Like thinking business minded. I was lucky enough to have a mom who was like really big. My mom has a bachelor's and master's in marketing and business management, and then I myself like worked with her growing up and on all her different ventures. Maybe she made me just be a part of that. So a lot of like the things that I know for like marketing and how to push things and sell things with like different people was because of her. So like it's having a good support system, honestly.
That's what's up. That's the best. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you and your partner for chiming in on the podcast today. You feel me? We definitely gonna work again in the future. You feel me? Real shit. It's been a good time. It's been a good week, and appreciate y'all really taking the time and energy to throw this for everybody that's at A&T and just in Greensboro, because y'all don't have to, take the time to throw these parties and risk what y'all got going on.
Right.
So, shouts out to y'all for real for doing that, especially growing in the short amount of time that y'all have grown. You feel me? It's only been a year, you said, right, since you guys really started?
Not really. Well,
it's not
it'll be a year in May.
Y'all did a lot in a year.
We did
a lot 6 months. But we did a lot in a year.
Yeah. More power to y'all, man. Real shit.
Yeah, appreciate y'all inviting us out. Appreciate y'all driving from Jersey to come for real. We've had people from Delaware State come down and record our Rager and shit. They love to see people hey, we fuck what you got going on. We'll make a last minute trip. Put this together and do what it do. Shout out to Red Bull for sponsoring the Rager. Shout out to Lorenze at Instagram for just giving us creative insight on how to conduct the Spirit Week and do the Spring Fling. Shout out to our different ambassadors and our campaign team. Shout out to and our styling team, modeling team. I'm gonna drop their names. We probably gonna blur them out, but yeah. Shout out to Ariel, shout out to Cam, shout out to other Cam, K-Cam, C-Cam, Alana, Tiana. Shout out to Testimony. She been shout out Tess.
She came in doing her thing though.
Shout out JB, Saman.
Oh yeah, in fact, the what's it called team, the commercial team. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Winter and Jalen. They've been holding down.
Oh yeah,
bro. That's game for real. We just gonna go to Miami with them, but trying to be
Daze,
it's a lot nowadays. Shout out to all of them. A big fuck you to the people who try to slander us. The wildest thing, bro. Nigga woke up and they was like, "You stole my Texas ID." I was like, "Yo, who the fuck is that?" like it was just a own situation, but like the way you went about it was just like off, and then when you want to have a conversation,
it's crazy because I was supposed to be in the art show. That I said, "Fuck it, how you gonna do that to friends? It's
ridiculous. Niggas trying to out people and shit for no reason. Out and then out of the wrong people. That's the crazy part. Like out of the ambassadors. What was the nigga do? Alright, so originally Texas was supposed to be at a farm. Like we were gonna rent out a farm, and so the individual speaking had run out a farm or like before. So we reached out to him so we could figure out how we can rent out his farm. But because whatever they did, they soured the relationship to rent out that farm. And so he went back and said, "Oh, y'all stole my idea. Y'all want to do like black cowboy." At first, I never went to that. I never seen it. I just knew we had a farm. And it was just crazy shit from there. And like I said, even then, like Aggie Fest wasn't, or Spring Fling was supposed to happen during Aggie Fest. Aggie Fest information that we got was Aggie Fest was supposed to be last week, not this week. So originally, like our show was supposed to be last week. But because it was this week, it fell on, like Texas fell on the same day as our show. And so he was trying to say that we was like trying to like fuck with him. I'm like, you feel me? He's like fuck T.I., fuck 50. I'm like, what?
No cap.
Damn, that's crazy.
If he was that confident, whoever person, if they was that confident in their brand, they wouldn't have an issue with having two parties on the same day.
That's the crazy part of the thing is, bro, we really want him to do what we want to put our work in his show. Like we like individually we support him, and then but he doesn't. Well, we're anonymous, so he doesn't know. He doesn't know we support him. But first thing he did was try and slander us for no reason. Didn't no DM, no nothing, just public post. That's the wildest part. And they had the nerve to sign that bitch with the heart.
Yeah, he did.
I think that was the wildest part of the whole statement.
Fuck it, we ball.
Oh yeah, we ball.
But shout out to everybody's endeavors. Hope the show went great. Because we had a blast. We had a fucking blast. We had a DJ and a U-Haul. As soon as the police came, shut that bitch, dipped off.
It was actually 4 hours more driving the U-Haul. That shit was lit.
Second location, showed up, U-Haul again. Third location. I don't think we didn't need the U-Haul at the third location, but the fact that we did that and no one's done it before, that's what I like about college the most. Like we always do some shit that people don't do. And again, like that shit wasn't supposed to happen.
It's crazy y'all do something at Camp Evo, because one of the times I came down here, I was telling niggas, I'm like, bro, niggas should throw like a big ass function.
And it's crazy because me and Zach was planning on doing that shit.
And then it's like, niggas seen that y'all did it, I'm like, damn.
But I feel like it hasn't been done before. I have people know.
Somebody, I don't know if someone threw something at Camp Evo before, but I do know they threw something. I knew people were there earlier this week. But like it wasn't like I don't know if someone threw that or not. But I know that was our plan. Like we gonna find a space that we can do this. But honestly, keep it a band. We have this huge campaign that we thought about, or we planned out in probably February. No, honestly, Dorm Wars. We planned Dorm Wars last year.
Yeah. Like December.
December, dorm wars is gonna be crazy. I might not gonna do though because we still probably gonna end up doing it. But like that space, they wouldn't like we would have like in March we was gonna have a March Madness thing. So we had the Rager, we was gonna do some other things. But that space was gonna go. We had that space was gonna be used like the entire thing. But we was gonna flood it with students, but you know, we got different concerns about, you know, people doing it and, you know, the safety of it and whatever. We was gonna block streets off and all types of shit, but I'm glad, you know, there's a system of how we do this, like keeping people in a certain space.
Y'all gonna do it this year? Doing wars?
No, it's too late. It's too much time. There's a lot of shit that goes into that campaign.
Nah, I mean this year we chilling.
I wanna do like more free on campus events, like a slut walk, picnics, man, just let niggas chill, like have fun. I want this to be more than just like I said, a brand. So like I don't know y'all like y'all see me like the slut walk Amber Rose be doing, I want something like that, but basically everybody doing these heels. Or like battered women, well, not, I don't know, is it called, why is it called a battered women show? Are they, never mind. But they donate heels and shit, and then the men put the heels on, and typically they walk. I personally like them race.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I've been watching them
race
shit
before.
on funny ass videos, they be running hills.
Yeah.
So like, well, after that, the heels will be like donated to like women who want to do like business, like fruity business casual wear.
Yeah.
But like shit like that, it's like it's cost should be fun. Everything shouldn't cost money.
Yeah.
That's why we sell our tickets so cheap. And honestly, it's a disservice to us because people sell our tickets for like 15, 20, 30, 75. But you know what I'm saying? Because we cost things too, where we know how that shit do. Like anything over $10 is tax.
I should give it one bill and get in.
No, for real. So, you got any last remarks that you want to let the people know? I know you gave out your shout outs and everything, but any last words?
Keep on the lookout, man.
There's
Follow the page, keep on the lookout.
There's so much shit we didn't do that we still are gonna do. So, yeah. Shout out to all the Daze. Shout out to the team. Diamond Reed, Lane. Shout out to the team. Alright. That's all we got.
I appreciate you coming on the podcast, you feel me? Appreciate my team for chiming in, you feel me? Shouts out to them. Make sure y'all follow the brand on Instagram and everything, Cozy Candace, subscribe to the channel. Follow College Daze on the gram, you feel me? And get in tune with what they got going on, you feel me? And like I said, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything, the whole experience. I wish y'all the best of luck.
Appreciate you, pimp.
I forgot.
Yeah. Okay.